Hey guys, welcome to next round of the Formula V Downshift League here. Um, this week we have a really short and tricky track in the 1000 circuit at Tsukuba. Um, so without further ado, I'll give you my lap and then we'll break it down into pieces. So. All right. So really short lap here. I believe I was able to get it done in a 38.9. I think 39s are probably pretty achievable on a lap-to-lap pace. I think my average lap was a 39.5 with out laps and spins all included. Um, it's not bad. To do longer. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. There's a few corners here that I shift down into second for that you may or may not be comfortable with. Third gear will work. It's just going to cost you a few tenths. Um, and, do what works for you best. If you're not driving safe, you're going to lose time in the long run. So, um, coming across the start finish line here, um, we go down, and I brake fairly early. This green light gets pretty close, but I'm not even at that green light when I start to brake, and I kind of just drag the brakes and try and cut distance here and let the car drift wide. When I feel like I have enough rotation, I jump back on the throttle, and you want to make sure that you're cutting distance as much as possible. Letting the car like arc out way wide is going to scrub tire and scrub speed. It's not really worth it. Um, so we really want to make sure that we're tight as we come out of the first two corner complex there. Um, coming onto this stretch here, I use this patch of grass as my braking point, and it's a very hard braking zone. Um, I don't lock up at 100% brake pressure, but I'm only up there for a very short amount of time, and you can see I trail my brakes pretty aggressively, um, and I guide the car into the apex. One thing to note is when I do shift down into second gear, I'm trying to be very mindful that my wheel isn't, full pitched in. I want to make sure that I get my downshifts done early on in the braking zone, so that I'm not like upsetting the car massively when I have loads of steering lock turned on. But the second gear helps me rotate through this corner, and it also helps you on exit here too. You can see that while I'm in second gear, I really need to gradually build up my throttle, just um, getting the car to rotate while not, completely overdoing it. And I keep the car actually very tight through this turn three here. I don't let the car drift out wide. There's probably some extra speed in it um, to go all the way out here. I mean, you can go all the way out to that grass, but I found that keeping it tight just cuts that extra little bit of distance. And trying to carry more speed really just scrubs tires, and you're going to be slower rather than faster on exit. So as we come to turn four here, um, I angle my car right towards this first little left apex here, and right when I get to, the point where I'm looking straight at it, uh, I jump on the brakes and I'm down to second pretty quickly. Um, and I just want to hug this left side here. I don't really want to let the car drift out too wide because it's all about the distance. Just trying to shave as much distance as possible. And then, on exit here, we can let the car run out wide. But just to look at that again here, we're just going down to second and trying to keep the car as tight as possible, not letting it wash way out wide and having to bring it back in. So just keeping that line as tight to the apex as possible really helps us save a bunch of time and distance. And then we'll hit these curbs on the run up to the last corner here. This one you don't want to touch. You want to get to as close as possible without touching. Um, because it upsets the car too much. If you hit it, it'll bounce you to the outside of the track, and we don't want that. Now, on this lap, I kind of messed up a little bit. I dragged the brakes out, and you can see at this point, I kind of know that I messed up because you can see my steering lock really start to hang on there. Um, it's carried too much speed, and this extra speed drags me way out wide where I don't want to be. And then finally, when I get to the speed that the car needs to be at, it finally bites and grips up, and then I can fight the car back to the apex. Um, and then you want to clip this, and if you clip that, it kind of opens up the corner, makes it a little shallower, and you can let the car drag out across the line. Um, as we, the right way to do this corner would be to kind of do the same brake, but just brake a little bit more. You can kind of see it in the way the car travels here. You can see the nose kind of wash on the exit. Right here, you can see the car slide. Really like keeping the speed at a manageable level so that that slide doesn't happen is ideal because you're just losing time in that slide. Um, but otherwise, clipping that apex at the end there is the way to carry as much speed as possible through that last corner. Um, you can also let it drift out a little bit wider here, but I found that every time that I went way wide, I was losing time. Just keeping it tight in and cutting down the distance of the lap was better for me. Anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see y'all on Thursday.